Hey everybody, welcome to the Last Republic of the People. It's been a couple of weeks, but I am back in action. We just had our election, and we've seen what a show that is. Uh, if y'all remember my video from a couple of weeks ago, months ago, regarding voter fraud, here we are. Um, when Donald Trump started his presidency, it was unexpected, it was unprecedented, and the radical left, the career politicians, the corruption, they all panicked because there is someone that is not going to be bought. He is here for the people, and he is fighting for us, and still is. He is still our president. There's not been a turnover of anything. So a lot of folks are panicking out there. I want you to hopefully stay calm, realize that this was a plan and that we had a counter plan in place. The plan was to unseat and get rid of Donald Trump. Hands down, period, end of story. Doesn't have anything to do with his policies, anything he's accomplished. It has to do with the hate of this man. Now, once they put a plan in place, it does affect the things that he has accomplished. But that's not their goal. Their goal is to save their own butts from going to prison or being shot for treason. That is their ultimate goal. They still want a one world order, and I don't think that'll ever stop. But right now, they're trying to steal an election. And they're doing it through the ballots and the mail-in ballots and the fraud of ballots. As soon as we heard, Trump wasn't the only one that was worried about that. We all were. So they used COVID as a weaponized tool for ideology and political movement. And it's their ideology that they're using this under. They're wanting us to be locked down, to completely be dependent on them. And then they can force us to do whatever the heck they want. And that's very Hitlerish. That's dictatorish. That's a tyranny. And obviously, we're not going to stand for that. We'll all die before that happens. But right now, they are currently trying to steal this election away from Donald Trump and to seat. That's why Joe Biden, everybody was wondering how he became the candidate. It didn't matter who they put in play because they had a plan all along. So this plan was to weaponize that COVID and use it to lock down our country, destroy the economy, and make Trump look like he's a chump. Well, unfortunately, it's not working. We're aware of it, and we see it. Now, I was baffled watching Joe stay at home and all this. He's just a puppet, guys. He's just the face. They had a plan of, you remember Pelosi saying something about the 25th Amendment? They steal this. They take Joe out. They put Kamala in charge. I mean, that could absolutely happen. But I don't think it will because we do have the attorneys in place. Trump has a plan. There's watermarks on these ballots. There's a lot of things that he didn't just wait without a plan. He knew they were going to do this. So he's a smart guy. He's got some smart people around him. And they've got a plan. So he is still our president, and he will still be our president. The quest for that one world order, it'll never stop. So in 4 more years, we're going to have to address this again. But currently, by weaponizing that virus, by fear-mongering through the mainstream media, by putting it out there that you're going to die if you walk outside, they were able to convince an incredible amount of people that mail-in ballots were a good thing and all votes should be counted. I agree with all votes should be counted, but all legal, legitimate votes. Now, most of these states that you saw this counting stopped and you saw they didn't, they kicked out the pollsters or the watchers and anybody in there trying to make sure they weren't committing fraud. You got ballots showing up in the middle of the night. They're all 100% that's math for Biden. That is mathematically impossible. Not an improbability. It's impossible. There is no mathematical formula that 100,000+ ballots could be for Biden only. So you've got people on Facebook, and they've pulled their posts of "I will never put a Trump ballot through," and so we knew there was going to be corruption and fraud. You got him in Pennsylvania leading by 600,000 points, and then all of a sudden they close, they kick everybody out, and then they stop counting. You got it in Wisconsin and Arizona and Georgia, and we're watching for these 3-4 days with the 264, and come on, guys. They're hyping it. They're doing it for ratings. Fox, you're right in bed with them. You're just as corrupt as the rest of these guys. I like Tucker, Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Lou Dobbs. There's a handful of people that I think should get out of Fox and start their own network. They should team up with Bill O'Reilly, Sean Spicer, and Newsmax. They need to create a new network of news because what we're seeing, they're in bed too, and Fox is part of it. They're playing this game masterfully. They know they got the most viewerships of any network, and Trump's called them out a few times. So anybody he has called out, why wouldn't they want to get him? Why wouldn't they? They're mad. They're hurt. They don't want to lose their power and their money. So we've seen the weaponized virus. They used it. They're trying to unseat everything that he's done now since they've weaponized that. And they're trying to get him out of office, period, hands down, end of story. With Joe coming in, we've heard out of his mouths and out of what the Democratic Party wants. They want to lock us down. They want us to be dependent on them. They don't want us to have jobs. They want to kill the middle class. You see where the economy is at right now. 1 in 5 businesses are done, and they may never come back. They locked down Vegas again. Vegas is done. It may be Sin City, but I spent 27 years there of my life, and I've got a lot of good friends there, and I know for a fact that they did not support locking this down through Sisolak and this other governor in Nevada. I know they didn't, and they are in the industry of service, and the service industry has been hit, one of the hardest industries hit, and that employs a third of our nation, and we lock them down again. A mask mandate. What's next? FEMA camps? You going to do what Finland did? I mean, Finland right now has camps, quarantine camps, where they're putting people that refuse to be tested for COVID. Where does that stop? Okay, you got to look at England, look at France, look at all these places that did these mass lockdowns. Has it helped? Has it fixed their problem? No, it's made it worse. It's caused revolutions. It's causing violence. It's causing terrorism. It's destroying a country. And it's going to come down to where we, the people, may have to stand up and fight for this. I don't know. But I'm not against that. But I don't want to do that. I don't want secession. I hear a lot of people, they don't want the Electoral College. They want to secede. We can't do any of those things, folks. That's not how this country was. You cannot cower. You cannot run and just abolish something because it didn't work right in the beginning. Our plan, our Electoral College, if we didn't have that, we would have 3 to 4 states controlling every vote ever. That's the purpose behind the Electoral College, is to make sure that all our voices are heard. Now, I'm going to go into the ballot harvesting a little bit. Ballot harvesting isn't just the harvesting of ballots, it's the hiring of a third-party company to pick up ballots, and this third-party company may have a political ideology that doesn't fit what you're looking for. It may be against or for. They're corrupt as heck. California was the first place to ever legalize ballot harvesting. And what that is a third-party entity comes into a place where the ballots are dropped off. They pick up all these ballots, and they take them back to where the ballots are counted. Now, in between there, what do? Do you think they couldn't change some ballots, throw some away, move some things out? Check it out. In the 80s, the Republican seats in California in one election flipped completely. And the one thing that changed that year is that California, being the first state, legalized ballot harvesting. AOC uses it. A lot of places use it, but it's bad. We need to get rid of ballot harvesting. That's not a good thing. Whenever we drop off a ballot, it shouldn't be picked up by a third party that might have an agenda. That's a bad thing. So then these ballot harvesters have 100,000 votes, have 200,000 votes, and they drop them off at 3 a.m. in the morning in Arizona or wherever. So we are seeing exactly what they wanted us to see. They're clear about it. They don't care. And Joe isn't the problem. I see he's got more votes than Obama did in 2008. Do you really think that Biden did that good of a job during his campaign to get that kind of a vote? Or is there that much hate? How come there's some counties and states that have over 100% of votes in? That's impossible. Nobody does that. Nobody has 100%, 105% of the registered voters. You got 105% over? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. So we're clearly seeing this, and I would ask of you guys to be patient, be vigilant, take your time, read some scripture. You know, I did. I had to because I was getting anxious. And I had to calm myself. And I had to realize that there's a bigger plan here in place. And we're going to succeed. We're going to prevail out of this. But we have to be patient. We have to watch. The mainstream media is going to try to control you through fear. And they're going to tell you all kinds of crazy things. But ultimately, this is going to end up in the courts. We knew it would, and it's probably going to end up with the Supreme Court. Another reason they were so mad about Amy Coney Barrett. It's not that it is what it is. I mean, she's a smart woman. They didn't want her in there. They had this plan in place. They knew she'd be the deciding factor in this, or one of the deciding factors. The 300 court seats that we've filled since Obama left it open. So there's a lot of positive things that we're going to do on this, but reacting in negative, oh, Biden won, or I no longer owe this country, I'm done, I'm moving. I'm so glad our forefathers didn't say things like that and bounce once they saw adversity. That should make you stand up, stick your chest out a little bit more, and want to fight for this country and believe that there is fraud and that there is treachery and that we need to fight it. And if you bounce and bail and say you're done and quit and all that, man, then you're a coward. Don't do that. That's not how this works. Okay? You got to stand up and be a patriot. To wear that badge, you got to wear it with honor. And you got to wear it by standing up with what you believe and what I'm saying and what other people are saying. And if you don't stand up for it, what's the point? So all these folks, I've seen a lot of it, and I know they're upset and they're scared and they're feared, and I don't mind fear. Fear makes you strong. Fear makes you alert. Fear makes you aware. It's something you learn in the military. Fear is your friend, but don't let it control you. And don't let the mainstream media control you. Now, I've been watching Newsmax. I've kind of bounced off the news a little bit because I know where this is going. It's going to go to the courts. Trump is going to be our president. And then they're going to spend the next 4 years saying he stole the election. And then they're going to try to put their plan in play in 4 years for the globalization and the one world order mentality. They can't pull it off right now because Trump is trying to stop them. We are trying to stop them. I know the Walk Away campaign guy, he is rallying up some folks to start protesting in multiple states. Please look him up. He is going to mobilize a bunch of us to go to Arizona, to Philadelphia, to wherever that we can, and start protesting a little bit there. It doesn't hurt. It's legal, and it's our responsibility to do so. I think it's going to ultimately come down to what the courts decide. And my wife's hates attorneys. She thinks they're the demise of our country and that they're horrible. But unfortunately, at this point, we need them. And they do write our cons. And there are some good attorneys out there. Giuliani, I think he's a good man, and I think he's the right man. There's some bad guys, and I think we're going to see some folks falling off the fence and going to jail over this. But folks, please, I know I'm getting long-winded again. It's been a couple of weeks and I've had a lot to say. But watch ballot harvesting. That needs to change. The way we vote needs to change. Unsolicited ballots coming in is fraud. You've got counties and states reporting over 100% of registered voters. That's impossible. You've got 100,000 found ballots that are all for Biden. There's clear fraud. There's clear damage out there. But just don't panic, okay? We're going to get through this, and we're going to prevail out of this. So hug your family, hug your wife, hug your husband, hug your children. Don't worry about this. We're going to fix it, and we're going to make sure that we're right. And when we do, these guys are going to go to jail. They have to. And then we need to readdress how we do our election because it's atrocious. It's really bad that an entire party can manipulate so openly and blatantly and get away with what they are getting away with so far. But don't believe what you're seeing because they're not going to get away with this. We're going to get them, and we're going to get them strong and hard. So I hope to continue posting. I'm going to post a couple more. I'm off my restrictions. So there's a video on my blog about ballot harvesting. Please watch it. And again, folks, God bless you. God bless Donald Trump. Mark Fierro, one of my friends, Michael Werrett, another friend of mine. They've been very vocal. They have helped me with my blog, with getting the word out. To you guys, I salute you. You guys are, one of you is brother in arms. We served together in the Navy, Michael. And then Mark and I go back to grade school. We've been friends for 40, 50 years. Great guy. He's putting the word out there as much as I am. I'll post one of his remarks. He wrote a really nice commentary. But without guys like this, getting the word out and helping other folks, we're not going to succeed, with a lot of what we're trying to pull off. So listen to what we have to say. I will post Mark's commentary here shortly. But God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Have a great weekend, and Donald Trump is still your president.